To you there, people around the world. Uh, in our last class, we deal a little bit about how to manage some of the tools we have, the the, the selection tool, how to use the selection tools, and we work with layer. And in this part of the training, we will working with all the tools. I'll be explaining all the tools you need to get familiar with, so that you can spin up and increase your learning. Okay. Okay, this is our last class, and in our last class we talked about how we can use the move tool, the selection tools, the electrical marquee tool, and how we can fill the background color. We work with this tool. We've been using the hand tool and the zoom tool. Other tools that we have here, which I will quickly rush through all these tools for today's lecture, and we will use some of them in the course of the training. Now, the next tool we have here is for Magic Wand tool. Let me look for a plain picture. Magic Wand tool is used whenever we have a plain picture, and the plain picture, a picture that has a plain background. Rather, when a picture has a plain background, you can use the uh, Magic Wand tool or the Quick Selection tool. So let me look for a picture that place embed picture, and go to file and place an embed picture. I'll go down to the pictures. I am looking for a picture that has a plain background. Let me see if I can get one. Okay, let me, I think I have this, for example. Now, if you look at this picture has been edited, and we have a plain background for this picture. Now, assuming I want to remove this white background and make it a transparent picture, all I need to do is just click on the Magic Wand tool, and I click on this. Now, remember in our last lecture, we talked about how you can rasterize the picture. You won't be able to do anything if you click on Edit Cut. Cut will not be active. So what you need to do is right click on the picture and click on rasterize layer. Now, another thing to note is this. If you look at this picture very well, let's say everything that I need is just the picture. I don't need the computer or the iPad in front of me. All I need is just the picture. So I'll just click on, after I've rasterized the picture, I'll delete. Now I have a picture here. You can say select the select. And I'll bring the picture, click and drag. Now I can now use, you can see it's very fast. I can now use this polygonal lasso tool to cut away other parts that cannot be selected automatically, because they don't have the same pictures. They don't have the same, I can use this. So quick selection tool, deselect. So gives me the power to adjust, to edit my picture. Can see I have it here now. So that's what we have here. This Magic Wand tool. Sometimes some people use the quick selection tool to quickly select an area. It will do the selection automatically. Sometimes it tries to make some selections of it's like a guesswork. You can see, make a selection of an area, guesswork, try to do some guesswork to work on your selected area. So that's what the quick selection tool can do as well too. So that's on that. That's on that. That's selected an area. Now, if I want to, I can make an image editing adjustment, brightness. I can increase the brightness of the selected area. You can see these are ways by which you will be touching other pictures. You can increase the brightness, uh, You can increase the brightness a little. I only want to work on the picture. So once you make the selection, go to okay. Another thing to note is this. Now we have what we call the polygonal lasso tool. After I make the selection, I can use my polygonal lasso tool to okay, I can select an area that is not needed like this. Remember, I asked you to use your Z to zoom an area for you to be able to see what you want to do very well. If you zoom more, you realize that they are all made up of pixels. So I'm going to delete this section. It's not part of the picture. I think that's a part of the hand. That's part of the chair that the person in the picture sat on. Select. So you can use your double zoom the hand to bring it back to view. You have another thing here as well. You have another one here, which is also the chair. Sometimes things like this may not be noticed, and but it is your duty as a photo editor or a graphic artist. Select, reselect, do the reselection of that area, select, deselect, double click with your hand tool to zoom it in. Now if you zoom in again, you realize that there is still some other part here that is not properly trimmed. So like this area, you can retrim it. Yes, you can retrim it. So you can bring it a little bit higher to retrim it. Select, deselect. So I'm going to bring this out. So that's on that. Let's proceed on that. That's how to use this tool. Now we have what we call the crop tool. Crop tool allows you to crop a picture. Most times you can crop a picture depending Ctrl Z to undo the cropping. We have the crop tool. Then most of the things you have here, you have the crop tool. You can use the crop tool. Ctrl Z. Yes, I can resize this picture if I want to, and I can do more editing on the picture. So that's on that. Of course, because of the major thing you will need, you may not touch some of the tools here because these are new feature. You are adding a picture to a frame. This for frame toolkit, eyedropper tool. For your level now, eyedropper tool most times is used by whites. Most times they use the eyedropper tool to remove um, this type of high that they used to have. Sometimes, let me zoom it. When you have your eyedropper tool, they try to remove the black part of the eye. So we have your pen tool. We have this tool which you will cover a lot as time goes on. Pen are for pen brushes, color replacements. These are for drawing, making selections of uh, drawing some things. We still talk about the pen tool, the 3D tool, then the ruler. We don't ruler for measurements. You can measure a distance from here down to this place. Depending, most of the tools here are for publishers. like the ruler. Most times people that design books with uh people that design for printing, they use ruler for the alignment and stuff like that. Anyway, most of the things you'll be using in are what I will quickly cover. And um, yes, we use the brush tool. We come to the pencil tool. Uh, in our design, we'll still be using this. And we have the clone stamps tool and pattern stamp tool. We'll be coming back to it, but let me quickly do something. Now, for example, if you have this picture, for example, you may have seen something like this before, and I just discovered that okay, I want this eye to be 2 on this picture. For example, clone stamp. Now, I'm going to use my Alt key. I'm going to use my Alt key. Now, I want to duplicate this eye. Use my Alt key. Once you press the Alt key on your keyboard, it's changed the mouse position. It alternates it, and you click once. Now I can come here and repaint. Oh, sorry, I must select the actual picture I want to work with. I use my Alt key. Now, if I start repainting now, the object must be first be rasterized. It must first be rasterized. If I start repainting now, you just discover that another eye is forming on the same picture. So it now becomes, sometimes people do, you can just say, how did they edit this picture? It's the work of clone sample. If I want to clone this picture now, I can start repainting now. Because I'm on an empty, the under this place, the layer here is empty. I can't really see anything here. But if I post it on a visible area of the page, it will show up. So you just discover that another badge is for me. Another badge is for me. If I keep repainting, it's for me another person, forming another person, forming another person on the same. You can see it's forming another person, and on and on and on and on like that. But the only thing is, because I have, yes, it's painting another person, but the only thing is I've actually spoiled this picture because I was painting it on the same picture. I didn't separate the layer, so it's hard for me to. There's nothing I can do. I can, if I undo, there's a limit to amount of undo that I can undo. Okay, you can see that everything looks perfect now. It looks perfect now. But if I want to paint now, I can create a new layer. I want it to be a separate layer now. It's an empty layer now. Then I can click on my clone stamp tool. Yes, I make sure I'm on a rasterize the picture, rasterize layer. I can use my hotkey to make a selection. I come here and I start painting. So if I start painting on this new layer now, I make a selection on the layer 4 now. Don't worry, because you will see the difference now. Because I will disable the layer, the third layer, so that you can see clearly. You can see clearly. So I'm going to disable this layer now. You can see this is the new one that was created. Though I've disabled that, this is the new one that was created. So I've cloned this picture. I've cloned this picture to another new layer entirely. If I delete this layer 3, I still have the newly cloned one here. So that's how to use the clone stamp tool. Then we have pattern for drawing pattern. You can use it to draw a pattern and a picture. Then we have our history brush. These are for brushes. When we start painting, we have eraser tool. I can decide to erase part of this picture now. It's more or less like the way I added a layer mask and I face some part of the picture. I can decide to use eraser tool and make it maybe in form of a circle. It depends on what I want to do or where I want to place the picture. I can decide to erase part of this picture now. So it depends on where the picture is supposed to fit in. If I felt erasing some part of it will be the best option for me, why not? I can use the eraser tool to erase pictures. I can erase the background of a picture. I can use the magic eraser tool to automatically select an area that needs to be. So let me go over here and use my tool here, quick magic selection tool. So you can see I'm trying to select the area. I want to do some little editing on this picture. So you can see this area is selected. I can go down to my image layer adjustment. I can click on curve. There are some things that you can do on a picture. If a picture is black, you have some lighter. You can make it lighter. You can increase the red part of the picture to make the picture a little bit. You can increase it depends on how you want the picture to look like. It all depends on you. You can make it more darker, and you can come down here and choose your uh, darker depending on what you actually want. So I can cancel this if all the selection here is not. I can go back to my image. We have some adjustment mode here. We have vibrance. Most times you see vibrance on pictures you see on social media. People add more vibrance to it, and uh, they are just like your normal photo filter, like all the picture photo filter that we used to have. Most of them are they got most of those things from the photo, and you want to turn it to black and white. Why not? It's possible. If you want to add more of red, you are increasing the red part of the picture. You are increasing. So these are ways of editing pictures. We'll still be dealing with it more and more. And if you want to tint the picture, most times we tint picture. You can tint it to red, you can tint it to black, you can tint it to even green, blue, whatever color you choose to. You can tint the picture. You can tint the picture to your own desired color. See, all these things that we are doing, you will still need to work on and on with them. You master them, and you practice often and often with them to gain a mastery of it. It's not that you give me a single assignment and that's the end of it. No, it's a consistent thing. You need to keep doing it, work more on it, do more exercise, do more practice, and all and all. So that's on that. Uh, the next will be the gradient tool. Now I'm going to use the gradient to select the selected one. So I'm going to use the gradient tool, and if I enable this, you see we have two different picture designs. You have two different picture design. One comes with a tinted color, while the other one comes with the natural color. So now let me talk about this. Let me talk about this. We have gradient tool. Now let me create a new layer. Now, when we're talking about gradient tool, gradient tool allow us to you can design your page based on the gradient color you want to use. You can have multiple colors. You can drag it this way, you can drag it that way. It all depends on you. But one thing about gradient tool is they have different properties that you can choose from. We have different colors and you can modify each color. Let's say for example, this is what I have. This is what I have now. And I wanted to change this blue color. I could just click down here and change the blue color to, let's say the color is supposed to be green. I'll go down to where I have green color, then I'll click OK, and I'll click OK here. Immediately it changes from here, and you can click and drag to give you a green color. Now, whenever you have a design like this, under the layer properties, we have what we call the blend mode. We have the soft. The first one is normal. Every object will be on the normal blend mode. When you scroll down, you have the soft, we have darken, we have multiply, we have color burn, we have linear burn. Now all these things that you are seeing, you can experiment it with your design, with your background, to see the one that suits your taste. We have screen, we have color dodge, we have linear dodge, we have lighter color, we have overlay, we have soft lights, we have hard lights, we have vivid lights, we have linear lights, we have a lot of colors like that. We have a lot of colors like that, and excursion, we have subtraction, we have divide, we have hue, we have saturated, we have color, we have and on like that, luminous. So sometimes you may be working on a design. I just felt that oh, you need to add a color mode. Now sometimes you may have had a color mode and the opacity needs to be reduced. You don't want it to be too much. If it's too much, you can reduce it. So then we have the fill. The fill color for that can also be adjusted from here. So these are ways by which we work with all these things. As far as time goes on, we deal with all these things too in our design, because we'll be picking some samples of design to help you advance better and work with a real life project of how we build all these things for our clients. Yes, we have this blur too. You hardly use it, but you can use it to blur a shape. You can use it to blur a picture. Okay, let me click on the specified picture. On the picture. So most times sample the layer. Now when you are blurring the picture, yes, it's actually blurring the picture. But most times when you have a photo shot, you may want to blur all the pictures of those that are on the background. We have dark blurring. You can see it's blurring the picture. Actually, so it keeps we have saturated, you have different type of blur. It will blur the pictures, and it gives you the look based on what you are expecting. Like for example, now you can see this blurring object. You can, of course, as time goes on, we will deal with it more and more. Sample or layer. So this mock tool can also be used to add some features, like you right click on your button to increase the size. Now if the size is too small, uh, for example, I'm trying to add some features to this. Now it's not going to be we have brush type here, of course we'll deal with it. Okay, this is big, this is big. So and on like that. So it all depends on what you are trying to achieve, really. But of course, when you start using them in design, you will know how they work. This is part 2, where you can use it to draw a part, draw a unique shape, and on like that. The text tool, we have used it before, and we have text horizontal, we have text vertical, we have the pick tool, part selection, can select a part. So you can work more on this part. Then we have our shape tools here. We have your rectangle tool, which you can fill with a color of your choice. The fill is black. So if you look at this now, because of what we have done on this Photoshop now. So that we have this, we have rectangle, we have elliptical, we have polygonal, we have linear, we have line, we have custom shapes. So you can do all this, you can edit more custom shape. We'll do more with all these custom shapes. You have some shapes here. You have the rabbit shapes, you have the TM shapes. From our next class, we'll be dealing more with how you can create a simple design, a simple graphic design, a simple graphic design that is meaningful. Now, right away, we are working with tools. Play around with all these tools and get familiar with them. In our next class, we'll be talking more about how you can start creating a simple graphic design that is meaningful. Thank you, and God bless you.